All right, how's it going today?
Man, it's interesting today. I'll say that. Today is an interesting day.
Depression.
Well, it's just our future is kind of bleak right now.
I always said that, and you never thought so, but now you're the one who's thinking that way.
Well, I have new information, so now I can adjust my viewpoint.
Maybe we can get into that on the podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll have to, unfortunately. All right, so some viewer reacts. We got a good set this time,
Yeah,
I think.
thought it was a nice blend.
Yeah, I like it, including a video. I like these
Sometimes you
videos.
get like a really samey stream of stuff for a while, but right now I'm getting a bit of everything.
Like all the chest eagles?
Yeah, chest eagles everywhere.
All right, so first up.
This guy.
These two.
Has got to be, and this is easily an early contender for favorite for me.
Yeah?
Without even seeing what else is coming.
Okay.
I just really, really like this thing. It's super unique.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I like, you can tell what it is, right? But the devil is very different from most devils.
Would you say the devil's in the details?
Yeah, I would say that. But he looks almost like he has feathers.
Yeah.
Right? I've never seen a devil like with feathers like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very unique take.
Or tassels.
The red is so bright.
Yeah,
it's really bright. Like this tattoo's obviously it's got some flaws to it, right?
Yeah, of course.
But like it's such a cool little quirky tattoo.
Yeah.
That I just wonder where this is. Is this a side of someone?
I think it's a side of someone.
It's like a rib or something.
Like a big rib piece.
It's a weird placement for this.
But I kind of like it.
I would put this on a leg for sure.
Yeah, like a thigh.
I mean,
thigh.
I don't want to get into
calf.
how are you going to add to this because that's always my problem.
It's a running theme for you.
There really is no way to add to this.
How are you going to add to this?
Yeah. What would you do? What would you do to add to this?
It depends how big the scene would be. Because to be honest, what I would do, if I could, physically, I would do a realistic scene in behind them.
Oh yeah, like almost like they're in a dance hall or something.
Yeah, that's
like
what I would
ballroom
do. Or like in hell or something.
Yeah, there you go. That could be fun.
But like realistic and probably black and gray to let these stand out more.
Yeah, they would really pop.
Or do it like Dante's Inferno style art.
You know what it'd be like? It's
them.
like when you take the background of something and you like gray it out, and then the foreground really stands out.
Yes, agreed.
Right, that'd be really cool, actually. Yeah, I would do that. Why not? You've already got this piece. You may as well make the best of it.
Yeah.
Give them a setting.
I always like building out, though. Like I like the idea of starting with something and making sure that you have the plans for the future.
Yeah, me too. But obviously, this person was probably just thinking, I want a cool devil dancing with a woman.
Yeah.
So who's this woman? You got anything on this? Is this someone we're supposed to recognize?
To be honest, I have no idea.
That's one of these things I always think when we're looking at stuff. I'm like, someone's going to be like, how do they not know this?
Yeah. I wonder if it's like regional or something.
Nah.
Because it's done in trad, which is like I love the art style for this piece, but I'm just wondering if there's a reference to something kind of in like the 50s or 40s era.
Yeah.
Some famous something that we don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But
the only thing I really
story
hate
of it.
about this design is that tail. I just keep coming back to it.
I kind of like it. It reminds me of like a chimera tail a little
bit. It just gets too thin for me by the end. It's just like barely hanging on.
Yeah. It does look like the tail's pushing back into the scene, which again, like if that is the case, by adding a scene to it, by adding depth in the background,
you could really play with that.
Yeah, you would get that. Whereas like, I don't know, trad, it's usually quite 2D, even though they're trying to emphasize some shading and give it 3D, but it's quite flat usually. So
yeah.
But anyways, I dig it.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
So let me know if you do a background.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
I recognize this character, but I can't remember who it is.
Okay, there's words.
Yeah.
Okay. Why does anyone do anything? Sheer absolute boredom. I like that.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
But I know who this character is.
Some sort of clown-esque thing?
I feel like I should know who this is. But anyway, let's get off of that.
This will be one that you like go, oh, damn, that.
So this is a tramp stamp?
Is it?
I think. It's either that or it's a stomach piece.
Yeah, I was thinking a stomach piece, but I think it's a tramp stamp. I think it's probably a tramp stamp cover-up.
Yeah, I think it's a tramp stamp, personally.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. There's probably something going on in there that's hidden underneath all this. I think that's why there's some real blacks in there somewhere.
Yeah. Still get a lot of tramp stamp cover-ups.
It's insane to me. Yeah. Do you think people still get tramp stamp tattoos?
Yes.
Really?
Guaranteed.
I wouldn't
People still
even
get
think
tribal,
about it.
dude.
The only reason why I would ever touch that area is to, like, build off of something.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
such
yeah.
an awkward space to just
It really
have a
is.
tattoo.
It's free floating.
Yeah, it's
it's
just
strange.
here's a piece right in the middle of prime real estate.
Yeah, and it doesn't complement the body
No,
like at all.
no, it's just there. It's just like a barcode, right?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, it
doesn't
really
make
is.
sense to me.
I agree with you.
I can see wanting a little piece on your arm because you see it all the time, and when you're young, it's like I want a tattoo. I want to see it. I want to
Yeah.
be badass. But with that, it's like you're never even going to interact with it.
No,
that is
never.
strictly for someone else to look at.
Yeah, and just a sheer amount of pain.
Yeah. The lower back is painful.
Oh yeah. But anyways,
I like
if
this
this is
one.
a cover up, they nailed it.
They,
'Cause I don't see shit under that.
Color blending is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And the red, the dark red.
Yeah.
And that purpley, bluey red background is pretty cool too. I wonder what that'll look like when it's healed
It
though.
reminds me of that purple silver. That's why I'm thinking cover up.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
That
it's just like you could have done that with wash and had it be really light looking, but they chose to not. You know?
I'd like to see the purple silver on non-blackout skin.
Yeah.
To see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I've only ever seen it.
It's got a bit of a shimmer to it. Mm-hmm. But I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
I like this one. So all right, next up, we got our video.
See, this is pretty well done, but I don't like it at all.
Well, it's not your vibe.
No,
this pattern work
I've
kind
said
of thing.
this a few times now, but
Just
I
not
really,
your vibe.
really don't like this stuff. I hope to see less of it in the future, not more of it in the future.
Mm.
Unfortunately, with the white on black movement that's coming out, that's almost all there is,
Yeah.
and it gets to the point where I'm rolling my eyes at it. And I don't mean to be a dick. I just find it, even though it's technically kind of cool and it's interesting, and you can do this very poorly and it'll look terrible. So I'm not bashing the work here. It's just I find it very boring, yawn-inducing now.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could say, oh, that coming from the guy with solid black limbs, like, yeah, I still find that more interesting.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
It's just too formulaic, too by the books.
See, for me, the only time I really enjoy pattern work is when it's really well placed with the body. Like when we did that feature on Jesse Manchester, it's like that type of stuff I look at as like high level understanding of flow.
Yeah,
You know what I
she's
mean?
working on a different level for sure.
Yeah.
There's some really, really cool, intricate nuance in her stuff. When
Yeah.
you zoom in and you're like, oh my God, look at all those little crosses or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of little patterns that she does within patterns.
Yep.
So
And for this person, if they're continuing on their leg, it would be a great idea to look at her stuff for inspiration.
yeah.
Because like there's some things in here that are really good with flow, and then there's some things that are kind of going a little counter body. And yeah, I don't know. I'd recommend taking a look at her because
Yeah,
she's
again-
got a great concept of it.
This is not me saying that this is badly done or anything like that. I don't like these.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I like this one though, being kind of more trash polka-esque with this red.
Yeah.
And kind of like.
Wonder what that
multiple
looks like
things.
in a few years, like where they're going with this.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see what that upper stuff is, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because it just looks like it's kind of lined out to be worked on later.
So if you do any more of this leg, let's see
Yeah,
it.
keep them coming. All right. Next up, some palms.
So this person sent this to me, I think last month. It got lost in the email. But I went back and found it because they commented that they had sent me something. Anyway, I'd be curious to see how this heals.
Yeah, me too.
They have to send it to me healed. That's the deal here. If you're going to send me a fresh palm tattoo, you got to
Yeah, you
send
gotta
me the
send
healed.
a deal.
That's going to
Yeah,
be the
healed.
new rule.
Yeah.
You can't send me a fresh palm tattoo and then not send the healed one.
Yep.
Or else
I think that's reasonable.
you're not get like this. But this will be the last one that I do. I don't have the
Fresh.
healed one.
Yeah, we should be always showing fresh and healed
'Cause,
for
yeah,
sure.
this looks really, really cool, but I have a feeling all of this in here is going to be just potatoed. It's
And
gonna
8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see. We want to see it after 2 months
Yeah.
of healing. We don't want to see it like a week. We want to see it a month.
I know if you were to do that on my finger, you wouldn't have a shot.
Yeah.
Just because I know what skin on, like, look at the friggin' calluses on my fingers.
Hey, man, that's chef hand right there.
Yeah, exactly. You can see where I've held the knife and all
Yeah.
that. But anyway, everybody's got their own calluses and shit, and there's certain areas that just aren't going to be as good as others.
Mm-hmm.
That I know is a default. So I'd be interested to see how much of this stays. They
I
went
will
with
say it's clean.
It is clean, but they went with some really, like, I know what they were doing here. They're building it so that if you put your hands together, you see the thing, right?
Yeah.
But like, if you had started it out farther, you would have had a better shot at keeping this because as you get closer in here,
Yeah, you're losing a lot.
oh man, that's harder to do.
Yeah.
Harder to stay anyway.
Yeah.
It's really cool though.
Yep. I like it a
I
lot.
love the look of this. I want to see it healed.
Could you imagine if they stayed like that?
Well, Luke Ashley could probably do it.
Yeah, but he would have positioned it different.
He would have positioned it different. There
know
would
what
have
I
been
mean?
more dotted too.
Like the body would have been higher here. The wings would have probably gone
That's
out,
exactly what I'm saying.
and then like less on that bottom lower part.
We would have used more of the central hand.
Yeah, central
rather
hand
than-
is where you kind of have to place it,
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to lose a lot.
It's like this one. It's very simple, but that's 4 years almost now.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to go simple, you've got a shot for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Alrighty, well, send him healed. We'll take a
Yep.
look at him after. Last but not least, some healed toes.
Healed toes that did pretty well considering they're 6 years.
Yeah, the color stayed well.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is probably as bad as it's going to get, really.
Yeah, I would say so.
So,
That's going to stay like that for a long, long time.
yeah, they're, you know how I know they're going to, like, these are in really deep is they're all blown out, too,
Yeah.
right? That's actually not a bad thing in some places. Like, you kind of want that blowout to happen because, you know, you've got to, you don't want
there.
that happening everywhere, but, like, if
Yeah.
you get, like, to these kinds of areas, you want to know that ink is in there deep.
Yep.
I've heard someone actually told me the only way you can get, like, a sole of your feet tattoo to work is if you blow out.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard of artists, like there's a buddy of mine did his palms. He didn't do it. I don't know if he did his feet yet, but he got this lady out of France to do it when she was here, and her whole technique of doing palms was to dot blowouts,
Yeah.
and you connect the dotted blowouts.
Yeah, I could see it. It sounds insane. Like it's
His-
a lot of
his palms look
information
good,
to
man.
process,
His
but
palms look good. It was a one pass, and they look good.
you get so used to not wanting to blow things out. It
Yeah,
seems
it seems
counter.
counterintuitive. It's terrifying.
But in this sense, it's good. Like you can even see some of these lines they're so powdery now.
Yeah.
Like they're not so much lined as they look shaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
they're wide.
it's bold.
Yep.
And it's there.
And it holds.
Now,
This must have felt great.
oh, I'm sure it did, but it was such a short amount of time. I'm sure. Like,
Fair.
This probably
Yeah,
was
that's fair.
done in 20 minutes because it's such a little amount of work. What I would be interested to see is someone with like a full foot sleeve,
Yep.
like onto their toes with this kind of detail and color. I want to see that in 6 years.
Yeah, agreed.
Like that would be cool to see. And I'm not saying it can't be done. I would just like to see how those, like how the ink blowing out and all that would work with something a little more elaborate.
Yep.
Right here, it's very simple.
Well, I think about those like castle feet things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the like,
That's all
tigers on
fine
feet and
line
stuff.
looking stuff too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man,
yeah.
it's
Because
gonna all
like,
smear together.
if you want a really nice detailed peak of a castle, it's like, well, it's not going to be super pointy.
Yeah,
in,
didn't we
like,
have one
years.
of those
Yeah,
sent
we
to
did.
us?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we've had some cool stuff. Sent
Yeah, we
in.
really have. It's been shit all over the place.
It's
It's really
almost
cool.
hard to remember. Oh yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dude, I still get. Well, I mean, like that thing we had last week, the video of that Pieta or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I mean, we've had Phil Garcia roses, we've had Julian Siebert back piece. Like, it's wild, man.
That's where I really enjoy this because you go from that devil dancing with the lady to like these world class pieces.
Yeah, it's crazy,
it's just
man.
they all get to share the same stage.
Yeah,
right?
hell yeah. Because all
So-
tattoos are equal.
Anyway,
They're all tattoos.
just keep on sending these tattoos in.
Hell yeah, man.
So-
And we'll keep on talking shit.
Yeah.